we have a lot of college action coming up.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you our college predictions now. And they're going to be wrong because we're bad at this. We're real bad at this.
Before we really get rolling on these, the game's already going on.
Oh, Houston and Navy?
But what were your thoughts on how this was going to play out?
I'm
a little surprised they're winning at halftime.
I'm not. I think that Tom Herman was going to get every ounce of use out of that loss to UConn. And he was going to say, you're coming home with a chance to make everyone forget what happened last week.
Yeah.
Don't blow it. And I think that when you think about the Houston offense, or defense rather, when they've been beat, even though they have such a great secondary, such a big playmaking secondary, when they've been beat, it's been generally through the air.
Yeah.
On the ground, they've been solid-ish, you know? And so I thought that they would be able to slow down Navy, and then it was going to come down to me, the health of Greg Ward Jr. Yeah. If Greg Ward Jr. was healthy, then I think they were going to win this game. It looks like he's already done something remarkable because Twitter just exploded. So they're up 24-14. I was going to pick Houston, especially at home. That was going to be my pick.
Okay.
All
right.
So let's roll on with our college picks. Max, we will start 4 p.m. Saturday. Let me Google something. University of Idaho. 4 p.m. Saturday in Moscow, Idaho.
Moscow.
I should have known that from because Idaho is a favorite of mine to use on NCAA football to take them from worst to first.
That's right.
Texas State Bobcats take on the Idaho Vandals in the Kibbe Dome.
In the dome.
What do you think of this one?
I don't know.
Nor do you care.
Well, I don't think. I'm trying to think if there's a team that has been more disappointing game by game than Texas State this year. And you look at a game, you size it up, and you go, "Oh, Tyler Jones and that offense can outshoot these guys."
Yeah,
and then they don't.
You'd think.
No.
Especially when they've gone up against bad defenses. And make no mistake, Idaho is a pretty bad defense. Idaho's a pretty bad team.
Idaho's a bad team.
You know, but
I lean Texas State. But
their defense is really, really, really bad, and that's why I think finally Texas State can put it all together on the last moment and get a win. That's what I think. I think they get a win. I'm taking Texas State.
All right.
Who are you taking?
I'm leaning Texas State
gotcha.
for sure.
Okay. 2:30 p.m. Saturday. One of the intrastate matchups in Texas in Denton. UTEP takes on North Texas. Two teams not going bowling. Two teams that have had a very forgettable year. One of them will cap it off with a win. Which is it, Max?
North Texas.
Okay.
Upset pick.
All right.
Upset pick.
I'm going to take UTEP.
I have no faith in that pick, but it's my fun upset pick of the week.
I think UTEP's the better team. I think that shows even at home against North Texas. Yeah. I like UTEP.
It's not the smartest pick on my part because I just watched them almost beat Louisiana Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And then here I am going North Texas. But, throw North Texas a bone.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, tomorrow there's action in Houston as well. 2:30 p.m. Saturday at Rice. It is Charlotte visiting the Owls. If you want to talk about a team that to me has been the most disappointing this year, I think it's Rice.
Rice, I think, is the easy pick there, yeah.
Mm-hmm, because their defense has just been so bad. The good news for them in this one, I don't think Charlotte has the horses to make them pay for having a bad defense.
Especially at home.
I think they come away with a win and finish with a disappointing 5-7 record. That's me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Sure you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 1:30 p.m. Saturday in San Antonio, it is the finale for UTSA.
Mm-hmm.
They are taking on Middle Tennessee. I think it's just Middle Tennessee. I think they dropped the
Middle
state.
Tennessee, yeah.
Is that right?
I don't know.
You're just agreeing with me.
Sure.
To me, again, it all just comes down to offensive consistency. Can UTSA find any sort of offensive consistency? They've been better of late, but I don't know if that matters. And I just also think Middle Tennessee is just better than them.
Would be quite a win, though. I mean, they get to 4-4 in conference, and you look at that schedule and go, well, that was a really tough non-conference. Maybe this wasn't as bad a year as we thought.
Maybe. I think this is a very big win because I think 3-9 feels a lot different than 4-8.
4-8 and 4-4 in conference. Yeah. That's the thing. I say you could point to that conference schedule record and say that's what we care about.
Yeah, we can hang. I am taking Middle Tennessee, though.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay. 11 a.m. Saturday in Memphis. SMU takes on a Memphis team that, hey, remember when they were like the hot team in the state or in the nation?
That has been a rough few weeks for Memphis.
It really has.
Against good teams, but
Memphis has kind of fallen by the wayside. But they will take on SMU at home. You have to imagine that they're the favorites here.
I do not see really any way to a victory for SMU. But I would love to be proven wrong.
SMU's defense has been so dreadful and so thin, and you think that Paxton Lynch is just going to carve them up.
Yeah, and you would think eat up time, not give that offense, which is SMU's strong suit, any time to really do anything.
Of course, there's the Houston Navy game going on right now. We already talked about that. Texas A&M going on the road, 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night, going on the road to Baton Rouge. And this game fascinates me to no end.
Lots of stuff going on in this one.
On one hand, you have an LSU program in total train wreck mode.
Yes.
Just a total shambles. Les Miles doesn't know if he's going to
Dead man walking.
He doesn't know if he's going to have a job on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, I think he knows.
Maybe he does.
Yeah.
This team has really fallen by the wayside after a very hot start. Remember when they were number 2 in the nation?
Yeah.
So they've really fallen off. But, I think that they're better than A&M. B, it's not like A&M's offense has been gangbusters.
No.
They've been really struggling.
Yes.
C, did I go 1-2-C? I might have.
Maybe. I do that all the time. It's fine.
LSU has been the team that has had A&M's number.
Yes.
If there is a team since their move to the SEC that has just taken down A&M every time they thought they had a shot,
unquestionably,
it's been them.
Yep.
And you think about the last time they went to Baton Rouge, it didn't end well for Johnny Manziel.
No, it did not.
I just don't see a way for A&M to go in there and get a win, especially if this. But I think a lot of it depends on. I don't think they can slow down Leonard Fournette.
Right.
I think a lot of it depends on the LSU mindset. It depends on, is this a team that quits or is this a team that rallies around their coach? I think that's the big key here. For now, on the road, it's hard to imagine A&M going and getting a win.
Yeah, I would just say the road factor, run defense, and Les Miles. Let's push him out. Let's get let's get him out here on a high note.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's too many factors stacked up against the uncertainty that is the Aggies at this point.
Mm-hmm. Let me text somebody real quick.
Oh, I'm sure it's really important.
It is.
Yeah.
It's our good friend J.D. Bryan who's shooting.
Oh.
I just got word that the games that start in an hour at AT&T Stadium, he got his credentials.
Hooray!
So there you go. So that
All
is
right.
thank you to Kevin Ozzie, the Arlington ISD
Good man.
athletic director, a good dude, and former Southlake guy. Okay.
All right.
Then there's the game tonight.
Is there a game tonight?
6:30 p.m. Friday. The Baylor Bears, still clinging to, I would say, very slim playoff hopes.
Correct.
But they can do themselves a lot of good if they get a win tonight on the road against arch rival TCU. It's the game we have had circled for a year.
Yep.
And it is here. It is here today. Max Thompson, your breakdown. Or your pick, I guess.
You look at TCU's decimated, man. I mean, as much as I want to believe that Patterson has been planning this game for a year, and he has, as much as I want to believe in his genius, and I do, who you running out there that can keep up with Baylor? They've still got enough horses. I don't even care if it is Chris Johnson behind center. I mean, I just don't see it. And crazy things happen in rivalry games, but I don't see how you can look at this game objectively from the outside and go, I see a path here for TCU. Other than maybe Chris Johnson shows an inexperience that he didn't against Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm. There's a real shame in this game because I think we were all looking forward to it for a year, and we wanted to see full-strength TCU against full-strength Baylor. And we thought that this was a game where we would finally be able to solve who the better team is. It's been a disappointing couple of weeks for TCU. Losing Trevon Boykin, I think, hurt, although it sounds like he will play tonight. And they're very banged up. Baylor, of course, has their own share of injuries. They're rolling out a third-string quarterback in Chris Johnson. So there's no excuse on either side for injuries. I'm sticking to my preseason guns. I think that TCU at home gets the win. I think that Trevon Boykin puts on his cape and is Trevon Boykin against a Baylor defense that I still don't think is very good. I think that in the rain, you want, which it sounds like it's going to rain, you want the more experienced quarterback and the guy who you can trust more under center, and that is Trevon Boykin. I think they have the single best player on the field in him, and I think that this is Gary Patterson's Super Bowl. I think that he has been planning this for an entire year, and I think that he's a bit of a psychopath in a good way, that he has had this planned for months and months and months and months and months. I think TCU gets a very, very narrow win and avenges, and I think that they ruin Baylor's already very slim playoff chances.
Now, I don't blame you for your Baylor defense hate, but don't you think they've looked a lot better the last two games?
Sure. But had they looked better than, TCU's offensively? I mean, look at what TCU did last week offensively on their third quarterback.
Yeah.
I think TCU's going to be able to score on Baylor. I think, if you're asking me to pick a defense that I trust more, is it the Baylor defense against the TCU offense, which is not at full strength but close to full strength, or maybe without Josh Doxson, obviously, or is it the Baylor defense, or rather the TCU defense against a third-string quarterback? That's where I think it is. Now, Baylor's big chance in this game is deep shots. Mm-hmm. What you saw against Oklahoma State. Just over the top, over the top, over the top, over the top. And you tell Chris Johnson, if you're going to miss, just miss long. Because we're just going to keep trying to hit home runs. I think they hit a couple of them. I don't think they hit enough of them. I think I'm a big believer that coming home, the emotion of that is going to be big on senior night. I like TCU tonight.
I don't.
One. Okay. That's fine. We can disagree. It's okay. It's allowed. These are sports opinions.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
Why are you getting angry?
I'm not. Am I getting
Stop
angry?
Stop throwing things, Max. That's for people on the podcast.
Put the knives away.
That's for people on the podcast.
No, I mean, I guess that's you're. I think you're putting it on more ifs than I am.
Maybe I am,
and that's okay.
Maybe I am, and maybe
I think
maybe I'm looking.
The old known knowns are in favor of Baylor.
Maybe I think that there's finally going to be a drop-off in quarterback play at Baylor. And maybe
that's a fair thing to
maybe I'm underrating Chris Johnson.
About. Yeah.
But I also think that they have not been able to run the ball, and tonight in the rain, I think that matters because you have to be able to run the ball.
Maybe, but you could also argue that since Seth Russell went down, Johnson looked better running the ball than Stidham ever did.
Sure.
And that's not a knock on Stidham. It's just
that's just the facts.
The two ways they play.
I'm taking TCU. You're taking Baylor. That's good. Yeah. I like that. I like that. It's we've got both sides of this thing covered.
Sure. Why not? I don't know.
You seem thrilled about it.
Whatever.